I want to thank everybody, man, who sent me emails and all the personal messages from Facebook, Instagram. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. It's hard right now, man. Like I said, I'm trying to get all the money together I possibly can, man, to counteract all this, because I don't want to leave here, man, because all my grandchildren are here, man, and any which way I go, man, I can turn around and be close to, I'm close to them. So my whole goal right now is to try to get this stuff taken care of. So, because she left me in financial ruin pretty much, man, and, but, I appreciate everybody, man, who's actually came, man, who sent me, who sent me all the messages, man, everybody who's watched this video, man, who shared it with other people, man. This is not something, man, that I really thought that I'd be talking about, honestly. When I seen other people going through it, man, I thought that it would never be me. I sat back and always showed her those videos, always talked to her about them. But yet here I am. People ask me, man, how I put up with that for so many years. In the beginning, man, you don't see it because you care about it, man, because it's all fresh. We all put our best foot forward, man, when we are when we're courting and we're dating. That's just, we're flirting and everything else, man. That's just the way we are. That's nature. So when you turn around and you look at all of that, you have anywhere between, if you're dating for long periods, you have anywhere between a year to a year and a half. And then if you're really into the person, you get engaged, and so on and so forth. All this is considered a honeymoon period, whether people want to believe this or not. This is all part of the honeymoon period. You got to live with somebody for at least a year. No, I really honestly believe an engagement should last anywhere between 2 to 5 years. Tell you why. It's going to take you 2 years to actually get to know this person. Then you're going to have to spend another year and a half living together. Then you'll look at the fact that, it's all, and then you got, in that time that y'all live together, man, you're going to understand and start to see things that you're not normally going to see just by spending the night with this person. You're not going to sit back and go through, it's hard for me to explain, man. You're not going to see the cracks. You have to literally live with somebody for long periods of time in order to turn around, man, and be able to understand the things that you need to understand about this person. And these are the things that a lot of people don't understand. In the beginning, man, our relationship was rocky. I was constantly in and out of prison due to the fact that I was on bond. I was on bond trying to fight a case, and eventually, man, I finally lost the appeal and ended up back in prison. So things happen, man. And this was during the first 5 years of our relationship. Like I said, this was rocky. And thank God, man, I was coming out on the other side of this thing. We was coming out on the other side when it was all said and done. But by that time, the damage had already been done. I came out to my house being pretty much in disarray. Both my stepkids were gone. She was on drugs, and I didn't give up on her. I didn't. Turned around and gave her an ultimatum to either give up the drugs or I'd leave. She chose the drugs. But I still didn't give up on her. Fought for it, everything else, man. I made sure that I was there. And at that time, I turned around and I should have really walked away from it. And that's being dead serious. I should have just walked away. But I felt that I thought that I loved it, but I was infatuated. That was the entire thing. Everybody doesn't understand this. There's a difference. The difference between people don't understand the difference between the difference between infatuation and love. I was infatuated by her. I didn't love her, and at that time, I didn't know the difference. You know, so I ended up turning around, man, and making a lot of bad decisions because of her. I mean, because of my infatuation for her. So my family kept on telling me, man, I need to leave her alone, but you know that's how that goes. You know, over the years, man, I cared too much. I just don't know what happened, you know, and I blew everything off, man. I blew it all off because and over the years, man, I grew to love this girl, man, and the things that she did, man, I just pushed to the side because I was like, okay, when you're in a relationship, man, you got to compromise, and I compromised a lot. That's the reason why I said that this relationship wasn't in vain. It helped me understand things differently, like compromising, being able to sit down and talk to somebody about the problems that we're having. She was receptive to these things, man, and they worked for a very short period of time. Then it was back to the BS. And like I said, these are the little bitty things that I should have been looking for. But like I said, when you think you're in love with somebody, you compromise and you think that you're going, that the things are going to get better. She told me that I talked down to her. Okay, I could see how that would be. And so I changed that. I started looking at communication. I started looking at videos about communication, reading books about communication. So I started, instead of turning around and using you statements, I used I statements. Look, I feel this way when this happens. I feel this way when this happens. This is how you communicate. This is how you talk about your feelings when you are communicating with somebody else. So this, and even using using I statements, she would still find a way to be the victim in the whole situation. And that was what really made me mad. She didn't think about anybody else's feelings but her own. Because at the end of the day, it was always about her. It was never about how I felt about anything. It was always that she was the victim. It was always me constantly talking down to her and constantly telling her what to do, trying to control her, and what everything else. All I and all I did was try to tell her, man, that she needed to be her own person. She needed to find something outside of us. And doing that, she would reach out to people and eventually find herself talking. I would find her talking to guys because she feels like, man, that I was ignoring her, or she needed to talk to somebody about this, that, about something, and it just led to something else. No. It's the fact that I don't tell her what she wants to hear, didn't tell her what she wanted to hear. I was upfront with everything. I am brutally honest about everything that I say, everything that I do, and I don't feel pity about what I say. And she doesn't like it. She never liked that. But I put up with it. So I stifled down. I quieted down. I would not say anything to her for months and months on end, and then eventually I would blow up on her in a big argument. And me personally, I would say what I had to say and I would move on from it. She would say what she would say, and I'd be like, okay, well, this is what's going on, and this is how I feel. See, you're always blaming me for everything. Okay, I didn't blame you for anything. I just told you how I felt about the whole situation. See, this is how this works. You talk about how you feel. It makes her feel bad. So her feeling bad is your fault. See how that works? And it's just not with her. It's just been with a lot of women, men that I've ever been with. Again, that's going back to finding the right woman who basically, what word am I looking for? Looking for a woman who has the same interests that you have. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I like working on cars. I like building cars. I like talking about cars. She didn't like, I mean, it's good to have separate hobbies and everything. I like horror movies. She liked horror movies, but she liked them for a completely different reason than I did. And I'm not going to talk about why, but she has this fetish with death. And again, another sign that I just didn't pay attention to. But back to the selfishness. She never cared anything about anybody else's feelings. It was always about her. She had everybody that we surrounded ourselves by, she pushed away from us. Everybody we talked to, she didn't want to have anything to. Eventually, it was, well, she would send them messages and they wouldn't respond quick enough. And she would say, I understand, but she really didn't, because it wasn't about her at that particular point in time. And she got to that, it became annoying after a while. It got to the point where we became isolated. Her dislike for people started rubbing off on me. Oh, I don't like this person. Well, I'm not getting ready to say anything else to him. This is where we was at. I'm not going to talk to him no more. So it started separating us from people. if you didn't give her the attention that she wanted, you didn't belong in her world. That's the bottom line of that. If you didn't give her the attention that she wanted, you didn't belong. You didn't have. She had no. You had no purpose in her life, and that's just what happened here, man. I turned around and started paying more attention to the kids, and she literally lost it. She didn't want to have. It was about the grandkids. It's always been about the grandkids with me, and anybody who knows me will tell you that I love my grandchildren. Full-hearted, man. And I will do anything for them. I will make sure that they have everything that they need. And now I am trying to do everything I can to stay here. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave Topeka. But if I have to, I will. I just got a lot of, like I said, she left me in financial ruin, so I'm trying to figure this whole thing out right now. Understand, man. I want you to walk away with one thing from this. Do not settle. You know what you want from this. You know what you want from your relationships. Do not settle. This goes for men and women. Do not settle. Find somebody with the same interests that you have. Don't turn around, man, and become infatuated with somebody, man, that's not infatuated with you. Because if you do this, you will find yourself in complete and utter ruin, emotionally and mentally. Don't settle. Settling will literally have you in a position like me. When you're comfortable with somebody, it turns around, man, and it has a tendency to make you compliant and not want to explore your options, so to say. This is the reason why when people talk about being exclusive, to be exclusive, you have to show things that nobody else would do. You would have to literally do things in the relationship that nobody else would do. That's what you would need to do to be exclusive. Dating, courting is what we all need to do in order to make our relationships work. I did this with her, man, in the very beginning. Me and her were friends. You know what I'm saying? Before this, because I would work and I didn't have time for any females in my life at that particular point. So we've talked a lot. I found out that she was in an abusive relationship. And these are the things that led to what it led to. But again, I didn't care to see the cracks. Don't settle, man. That's what this is all about. Always look for love, man, with your heart, man. People with the same interests. Somebody who has the same loves for the same things that you have. And I'm not going to keep repeating that. But sometimes, man, we need to keep hearing it. Be blessed, man. Again, I thank everybody, man, for all the views, all the likes. Share this, man. Share these videos, man, because somebody out there, man, is gonna need what I have to give them, man. A relationship, man, doesn't have to be as hard as everybody thinks it is. Right now, man, this is my healing process. I really hate the fact that it's come to this. But Tyler Perry said it the best way, man. People come into your life, man, and we are the ones. They're only supposed to be there for a season. We are the ones who keep them there longer than what they're supposed to be. So you have to learn how to move on from things. You have to learn how to move on from people. It's hard, man. It really is. Because you grow attached. But you have to learn that not everybody is meant to stay in your life. I'm Damian Box, and this is my channel.